What's up, people? Today marks my biggest winning day ever. And I kind of want to. I mean, you guys seen how much I've made in the title, but I want to talk about something. Today was a weird day because I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys because I want you guys to be like family. I don't want to sit here and lie to you guys. Before I made this much on this account, I blew the one of the other fresh XFAs I had, and then I was talking about it in a video last night. I blew an XFA last night in Asia, um, and then after this, I blew another XFA trying to trade even lower. So I blew three XFA accounts, and then I made $6,332 on this account. But this was my biggest day, and I kind of want to talk to you guys about my mindset in today because after I blew the first account, I was really upset. And so this is kind of what happened. I traded here. Um, I got break even on a trade. I was confident in this new week opening gap up here. We were already kind of in it though on ES, so we didn't fill it on this. We created an SMT here, but I got break even on that trade. I went in heavy, like here, and got break even at this high because we were over here. So, and then I ended up going in again here and losing, and then I think I lost another, and I kind of tilted in a way and lost that account. And so I started thinking, I was like, why am I allowing one account that was $70 with a 30% discount affect the way I feel this much? I know how to trade. I have good intuition. And so I got on my, because I had three. I blew one last. I had four XFAs. Blew one last night. Blew this one. Had two left. So I got on the next one, and I was like, all right, if I blow this account, I blow it. If I blow the next one, I blow it. I was just kind of in a kind of mindset, not a tilt mindset necessarily. I know what a tilt mindset feels like, but more of like I'm tired of letting these little accounts control the way like my market intuition. We just talked about this on the weekly recap, having market intuition and letting it play out. I mean, one of my biggest goals for this week was to risk heavier. So what I did was I went in with 20 contracts and I got break even a few times, but I knew overall that market was going to head lower. I knew it. And so we rejected these gaps. I got break even a few times in here, lost like 800 at one point. So yeah, I traded more than once today, and I also well, yeah, I just traded more than once, but I was risking really heavy as well. And like I had talked about in my weekly recap, I was kind of trading this like a eval in a sense because when I trade evals, I've talked about this. I have a really high win rate on my evals. I pass 90% of my evals within a day. In morning session and then Asia session, I pass them because they're 2-day pass. So I just trade them in New York and then Asia. And so I did that on this account in a way with a really strong bias lower on the higher time frame. It's not letting me go to the 4 hour right now. Um, yeah, it is. Okay. So we rejected this huge 4 hour gap. We created an SMT at this new week opening gap. And I was like, okay, there's no way, there's no reason we don't come down and at least sweep this low and this low. And so on the 15-minute, we were looking so bearish. While ES over here was looking super bearish, we rejected these gaps. I was willing to put everything on the line, and I did. And the biggest, like I finally got the trade to stay where I didn't get break even on it because I would go break even fairly quickly after like 5 or 10 points of profit just because of being so heavily risked. But I knew there was going to be a point where we broke out. I knew it, and so I stayed on. I entered around in here, and we held all the way to this low and made 4,500 with another 2,000 we'd already made between this point and no, we made like 2,000 between here and here, this low, and then we made 4,500 between this low and whatever or something. So we ended up making 6,300 today. And so now I plan on just farming winning days, just getting $150 winning days. I need 4 of those, and then I can request whatever on this account, wherever I'll be at that point. But what I really wanted to talk about is that I've been stuck in break-even phase since early December, and it is now almost March. So that's like 2 or 3 months I've been in the break-even phase where I've worked on having good discipline where I only trade once a day and I only risk $500 a day. So I'm like, but like that hasn't worked for me in a sense to where I'm making any money, any progress. So what I decided, this week was it's time to make a change. You can look at the weekly recap of yesterday, and I literally talked about making a change and doing something different. Yeah, you could say this was gambling or whatever, but when you have market intuition, I mean, I've been doing this for over 8 months. When you have a strong bias and you have a strong draw on liquidity, and you have market experience, why wouldn't you risk heavy and allow something to play out? Is what I'm trying to get at. And yes, I'm gonna work on lowering where I trade that much, but it's kind of like a break out of this barrier I've been in of like scared of these accounts. Like I'm scared, and it's like these aren't any different. I make $1,500 in one trade and then $1,500 in another trade on evals like it's cake. And so what I'm going to really work on is being more aggressive and being more confident in myself and not letting these $70 accounts dictate how I trade and dictate how I navigate the market. Now, am I going to take, take 4 or 5 break evens or, a few losses and then and do that consistently? No. I'm going to work on lowering the aspect of how many trades I took. But what I'm going to increase is the confidence I had on this account, and the willingness to lose it is kind of what allows you to free up and trade the way you can trade. You have to be willing to lose it. And when I started trading this account, I was willing to lose it. I was willing to let it go. Just like I had lost the one before that. I was really upset about that one. And then I kind of calmed down. I waited a minute and I was like, all right, I'm going to trade another one. And I'm going to allow myself to just trade without fear of losing, without fear of this, without fear of that. And we ended up hitting big on this account. You say gambling, say what you want. I understand. I've been in the point where I think people, have thought people are gambling, and it's like maybe I was, but that's not what this was about. This was about learning how to free up your mind and allow yourself to catch moves that you see all the time. You see all these moves all the time, and you want to get in and you want to, but you are afraid, so you end up losing money or not getting in and watching it play out. And that affects your brain. And so today I wasn't going to allow that to happen. I mean, I blew that account, and I could have very easily just stopped for the day and been down an account. But instead, I decided to be like, all right, if I blow these, other accounts, I know I can pass evals quickly, and I have the money to furnish these accounts. So it's like, I'm just going to see what happens and trade confidently. And we ended up catching a nice move. Even it was, it's part of my continuation as well. We get this wick out of this. We're wicking. We create SMTs at this new week opening gap. We continue down. We get a retrace into this 5-minute. We respect this small 5-minute and continue lower. At this point, there's no reason price doesn't push lower, at least to these lows. And I managed my position all the way down. So I kind of just moved it to here, plus 1,200, plus 2,000, and just moved it all the way down. And if I were to get stopped out, while managing, that would have been the end of the day. I wouldn't have made this much, but we didn't. It just flushed. And so that's kind of how I ended up making my money today, making this much on one account. And this is the only Express account we have now, but I get 4 winning days on this. If I do this right, I can easily get 4 winning days within this week or next week, and then request a $2,000 to $3,000 payout, minimum. Should be, at least. So that's kind of how I did that today. That's how I made this much money on one account. And it's a point in my career where I just kind of am shifting and doing something different, getting out of my comfort zone. I know how to be disciplined. I've been doing it for 3 months straight of no, over trading, no over risking, no, any of that. And today it was just a day where I was like, all right, I'm tired of doing the same thing, being stuck in the same loop. So I did something different. I changed my input a little bit. And now I feel like I have so much more confidence and so much more, so much more of a grasp of what I need to do to rinse these prop firms. And it's like, it feels good. It kind of goes against what I've been doing, but like what I've been doing hasn't been working. And so I'm trying something new, and that's really quite literally all it was today, just trying something different, and it seemed to work. So I'm going to obviously, you know, work on minimizing my risk in a way, like risking heavy, but not almost going in to multiple trades and real break even. And that's kind of what I do on evals, but I need to find that happy medium. But I think today was a great starting point. So that's today's trade. And I hope you guys can learn something from what I said. And also, if you need a discount on Alpha Futures, I have a 10% off code down there, Caden016874, if you want to get a discount. If not, that's completely fine. But I will catch you guys in tomorrow's recap.